Today I'm in Bel Air exploring the Glacial Hills Pathway and Natural Area. Not only does this natural area boast of 765 acres that contain 12 distinct habitat types, there are also 30 miles of trails to use, and on those trails you might come across some of the 20 plus species of trees, 100 plus species of flowers, and 100 plus species of birds. There's so much to see, let's get started. Because of the variety and wide network of trails throughout this area, the different trails are marked with an icon. So today I'm taking the one with the maple leaf. And you'll notice as I travel about that there's trees with a yellow mark on them, indicating that's the trail I'm supposed to follow. And it should bring you back to where you started from. I'm out in the early afternoon walking through this natural area. So the sun is going to be in a different location. The lighting's going to be different in the morning time and in the late afternoon time. Actually a little bit brighter than I'm used to. So I'm working with that, but I'm also looking around to see what's highlighted by the sun. Trails curve around and go up and down on this hilly terrain. So make sure you wear some good sturdy walking shoes, and also might want to keep an eye out for people on mountain bikes because we share the same trails. Seen a lot of little webs here and there in the crook of branches. They're not necessarily new ones, but they do stick out when the sun hits them just right. So I know it's not everybody's taste, but because of the lighting and the detail of it, this is something I'm going to take a picture of, see how it turns out. There must be a lot of hungry woodpeckers in this natural area because I've seen a lot of trees that have numerous holes punched into them. I'm sure on feeding frenzies. So something I noticed when I was traveling in Scotland was when you add certain trees, changes what plants can grow. And we've switched from maples and oaks and other kinds of trees, and the vegetation was green on the ground. Now we're in pine trees, and look at all the dead needles. And not as much is growing. It's not the same type of thing that's growing either. So you go from something that's covered in green to more space of brown. So here's where you can let the light play and the growth work for you in your composition. Here's the path going through your shot. Again, let's make sure it's off center. And on the right side, we'll include the trunk of this other tree. I think it's a maple. But look at all these little saplings. So you've got all these thin little lines going through your shot, going up. So it draws your eye up for one, and it also draws your eye in down the pathway. And because you've added this heavy trunk, that brings balance to your composition. And just the slightest of highlights on the trunks, on the branches, on the leaves, on the path, and just enough highlights to light it. So I've come down the trail and moved into an area that is predominantly covered with deciduous trees. And look at how green everything is again. Not only the trees themselves, but also the ground. So just something else to keep in mind when you're out walking. Things change on the ground depending on what trees are around. If I zoomed in close enough on this tree, you would think that it's some sort of Halloween or horror mask because it's pretty frightening to look at. This tree has had a rough go of it in the last number of years. And I don't know whether it was hit by lightning, but the black streaks on it certainly look like burn marks. And woodpeckers and age and other storms have really weathered it over the years. So I don't know how much longer it's going to last, but in the meantime, it looks like some sort of frightening art sculpture here, which I think is kind of cool actually. The topography of this landscape is beautiful with the different hills, and it also provides opportunity for highlighted areas which stand out like bright light shining in the middle of darkness sometimes. So I found one of those scenes that I'm going to paint one day. I've actually taken a class on beginning oil painting, so this is exactly right up my speed. The path right in the middle, tall tree trunks, and surrounded by green everywhere. I noticed this a few years ago on one of my favorite trees at the Highlands, how the bark just falls off like scabs in these big sheets. Look at how it's come off this remnant of a trunk, like an outer skin. I just find it fascinating, but that's just me. And look, on this other side, it's already disintegrating, leaving the smooth outer part of it. The path has taken me down into the lower part or the valley of this area. You can see in the background how hilly it is. The edges go back up, but the trees are so dense you can hardly see past them. Shh, everybody be really quiet. Look what I found. He's just waiting for me to move. I don't want to scare him. Oh, is he gonna make a run for it? The trail that I was on led to this stunning overlook. You can see how high up I've been, how low it goes, and how dense the trees are. There's actually some clouds amidst the haze, so I might be able to take some shots here. We'll see how they turn out. believe I've been looking for this tree the entire time I've been out here. And I've been out here for a couple hours wandering around. Here's today's tom tree. Look at this guy. Look how dense it was. All those branches, all those limbs. It's still alive, so it's still doing pretty good. But look at all these branches. That massive trunk. Wonder how old it is. And it's a maple. So I talk about circling around your subject of interest just to see if there's a better side to it. The lighting's better, has more characteristics on the other side. All around, this seems like a pretty cool tree. The Glacial Hills Pathway and Natural Area is protected by the Grand Traverse Regional Land Conservancy. For more information about the work that they do, check out their website at gtrlc.org. Thanks for exploring with me. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you liked it and learned something new. If you did, consider subscribing to my channel and getting notified when a new video posts. And I hope to see you out on the trails.